get off Bluesky now in the chat for the commentary. And he was like, oh, I don't have time. There's still so much going on. And I'm like, bro, it takes 5 minutes to set up an account. There's 5 minutes on any fucking website these days.
Yeah. Anyway, also, I know, Simeon, you came here first to literally talk, but can I talk first? Like, when we start introduce the show?
What's the topic?
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh my
Oh, wow.
god. You fucking...
You little
hear it, baby.
autistic gremlin.
I want to hear it.
Yeah.
You will.
That's
In
why
a
I'm opening...
moment. I'll get a drink and then we'll have fucking
Okay, do we know?
the joke
Okay,
in my
no.
head. No,
it's
here's
okay.
no. Fuck off.
All right.
The
Go
joke
ahead and
that
fuck
popped
up.
in.
It's okay.
Fuck
okay.
you. Fuck
It's okay,
you.
man. We're here for you. The accident was 4 years ago, dude.
Yo, with the current time frame, that implies the accident was the pandemic.
We still don't know how it
wasn't your
started
fault.
exactly.
A dude fucking ate a bat.
Has that been confirmed ever?
Yes.
Really?
It was actually
I thought that was
Chris.
a rumor.
when he dressed up as Ozzy for senior year or whatever it was,
Fuck.
and you
Are
ate one
there
of the full
pictures of
acrobats.
this?
No, I don't think so.
I think Cody's just making shit up right now.
No,
it's not made
that
up.
was a thing.
Oh.
I really like pictures of this if they...
They
You ever
probably
see a
don't.
picture of Chris with round glasses? Just know that they came from that.
No!
They were justified purchase.
I think I have one of those
for that
pictures.
outfit.
Let me look.
Yeah.
Let's see. Go into...
No, the joke that was
My
bubbling in the head
pictures.
was, "Will Chapel Roan because she has a song called Hot to Go." That was the joke that was kind of populating my brain.
Go get your drink, boing.
I better not have put my soda in the oven.
I'll put your soda in the butt.
You're
You
gonna
could have already had your drink instead of making that bad joke.
Fuck
I do
off.
not have
You're
pictures of this, but I have a picture of Boingo dressed like he's Harry Potter.
Oh, no! 'Cause...
Look, that would have been like, what, 2011, 2012?
Yeah, no, that was like when the final movie came.
By the way, they had like 3 pallets of Harry Potter Complete Saga box set at that warehouse liquidation sale I was at.
Yep. I'm just happy you got more Cassandra stuff to like read whenever.
Yeah.
Boingo, you still there? Chris, you still there? I want you to be there for the insult before I fire you.
You're gonna have to wait.
Say what about it. I guess that means I got time to either find a funny picture of Chris or formulate that joke better, and I think I'll do both.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was pretty stoked to find the entirety of post-crisis Supergirl there.
Yeah. Also, Simeon, did you start Beast Machines yet?
Yeah, I'm like halfway through it.
All right. I've been considering rewatching it because I've actually never rewatched it since I did my big Beast Wars YouTube binge. That got me into Beast Wars. I remember really hating Beast Machines. I'll be real. Mainly for the character design. Oh.
I think it's legit a step up in every aspect.
Even in the visuals?
Yeah. The animation is legitimately better.
I think the story is more together for sure.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
All right, I'll definitely retry it eventually when I do like a double decker. I definitely do want to retry it. I just keep hearing like everyone who tells me like, "Oh, I should retry." Is like, "Don't. It doesn't hold up." And I'm like, "All right."
I haven't finished it yet, but I'm really enjoying the story so far, and the little snippets of animation I've actually stopped in what I'm doing to watch have been pretty okay.
Yeah, I just hate the character design. I just do not like that. Like,
I mean, it's not great. It doesn't look like what I think of as Transformers, but taken as this series, I'm fine with it. It doesn't look any more disgusting or foreign to me than regular Beast Wars does.
It's like regular Beast
What a
Wars.
Puritan opinion. I actually love the design severely, and I like them more.
Interesting.
Also,
Wait,
I'm going to throw out a big hot take right now. Especially considering the company I'm in. Tankor being Rhinox is an excellent twist, and it is legitimately a great emotional gut punch. If you're mad about it, that's because the story worked.
I don't understand the context.
Beast Machines. Simeon's been watching Beast Machines.
Chris.
Yes.
That picture of you as Harry Potter.
Yeah.
You kind of look like a Christian, like ninth grader who really secretly wants to be seen, but you're not really allowed to be like a seenie weenie, but you're still trying.
I thought you were gonna say it
During
looks like he's in a
Christmas, during
Christian
Christmas.
stage play adaptation of Harry Potter.
I mean, you
No,
could have
they wouldn't.
just said Christian, and Boingo would have been insulted already.
I didn't just say Christian.
I mean, that tie was from Hot Topic.
Oh,
But he'd never tell his mom.
I haven't laughed that hard since this afternoon when I watched Venom turn into a horse.
That's a
that
cool
was in the
idea.
trailer. You didn't see that in the trailer?
I forgot about it from the trailer
Fair.
because I only watched the first trailer once.
He for gore.
That's fair.
Also, there's a needle drop in that scene that makes it amazing.
I will take your word for it.
I want the needle drop spoiled.
Yeah, tell me it's a needle drop.
Don't Stop Me Now by Queen.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
That might be a worse needle drop than the freaking Take On Me and Mario movie.
No needle
I
drop
almost-
is worse than the entirety of the other Suicide Squad.
By the way,
Oh,
this
yeah,
theater
yeah.
I was in, I don't know why I'm going into my Venom movie discussion before we even started the podcast.
Hi, whatever. Hello, it's Components. Vax here. Hi, Sims here. I mean, fuck.
Yeah, some
Daddy's
I mean,
home,
no.
everybody. Have
I
we
mean,
been
no.
good?
No, I
Because
mean the whole
I'll give
pizza
you
off the
a
plate.
spanking.
We got Busto. We got
Somebody
Cody.
assassinate Tucker Carlson for me, please.
I was close to. I fucking worked.
You can't say
You
that
worked
out
that
loud,
rally?
but
Did
actually
you
doing
work
the
the
job.
Daddy's
you
Home
do.
rally?
No, he fucking he's been doing a goddamn fucking talking tour, and he came through, and the venue he did has a contract with the union, so they had to use the union as local crew. And so,
Alright.
like, everyone there is just like, yes, we know this is fucking bullshit. Pinch your nose, deal with it.
Okay, I think just in case we should restart the intro because
No,
now
fuck it.
This is in!
The standards have really dropped since I left.
Or have
Good
they
thing.
only
I
risen
like it.
higher?
Or did they only drop for the episode we brought you back?
That could be possible, you know.
Are you our lowest common denominator?
I do still listen to the show, but I listen to it at work, so I'm only like half paying attention. The intros could all be shit, or they could all be amazing. I really have no way of knowing except to actually pay attention to anything when I'm at my job, and that's just too much to ask.
No, you have to dissociate when you're conducting capitalistic labor.
Yeah.
I watch videos on my phone while I sit at it. Or I pick up the leaf blower and I go pretend like I'm doing something outside.
I mean, that is just my job in a nutshell, because I'm essentially a cleaning, picking up trash guy.
See, I just have to like pick up shit and move it and then put it together and then.
Oh, you pick things up and put them down? You getting swole?
Well, I've been losing a little bit of weight, but not drastically so. And
Working on that form.
oftentimes, here's the thing: I say you pick stuff up. More often than not, because it's safer. There are multiple processes that are done, so you don't have to pick up and lift heavy shit. Again, because it's safer, and it's just like, why struggle to pick up and stack these two boxes to put in the truck when we could just bring them by the forklift and stack them that way?
Listen, I don't want to hear all your liberal ass talk, all right? All you gotta do is, if you're gonna be a man, you gotta twist your back and lift as violently as possible on every heavy object. You don't need no help. I don't want to hear none of this safety nonsense. Back in my day when you were a roadie, you bled for the job.
I mean, there's no fucking getting around barricades, and they're heavy as shit.
Sir, you work for me. You don't work
The
for
point is
OSHA.
to not get around them. Checkmate.
And what else? Because also there's motors where it's just like you attach a chain, the riggers. Okay, but riggers are people who go up to the top of the ceiling to tie off rope. They just send the chain up to there. They attach it to the building. And the chain motor is a thing that just goes up and down the chain, and you attach the lights to that. So you don't even have to like do stupid light hanging. It's just like they're already there. It's just pop. All right, cool. Take the legs out. All right, cool.
Sounds like a good design to me.
Oh yeah, no. A lot of them are very efficient, and it's very like, oh yeah, that's cool. Creed wasn't, because they have a dumb lighting design where they have like a circle, like thing of
I like how
light.
Boingo just casually brings up Creed as if he didn't discuss that bit in the podcast proper. Boingo has worked Creed now, everybody.
Hey,
I think we have discussed it.
I think
Thought we
yeah.
did.
Also, I have also did. Let's see.
Again, I don't pay
bands
attention to this show.
There's a couple people I don't really recognize. Like one's like a Christian country singer, and she did a thing.
What's
There was
her
a
name?
guy. Fuck, I can get you the name. I can get you the name of everyone I've worked with so far.
Pull up your
Name.
pay
Give me the
stubs.
name. Got
Yep,
a family still?
But in the meantime, you were gonna go off about Venom.
Or was I gonna do that, or was Buster gonna go off about Sonic? I can't remember now.
Shadow, the Venom of the Marvel universe.
Yes,
of the
no.
Sonic universe.
Okay, you know what? May as well for new game. All right.
Tell me about your emo 12-year-old game.
All right, Sonic X Shadow Generations came out. I don't even need to play the Sonic Generations part because the Shadow part is too peak. 'Cause, oh my god, this they actually okay. So a big complaint with recent Sonic games has been the lack of commitment to improving the formula they set up, and this was Frontiers when that came out. Everyone was like, "This is a great formula. I want them to improve on it instead of just changing it next game." Guess what they did? They improved on it instead of changing it for the next game. And that's what Shadow is. That's like better designed original levels. Like even if they reused assets, the level layouts are basically brand new. The open zone stuff is even like funner. They more condensed. Because it's like a shorter game. And the writing is still really good. I really like what they how they used the Shadow's past to kind of reintroduce him to a new audience, but still give closure to people who've been a fan of the character for a while. And it just smooth as butter controls. The controls are insanely awesome and insanely just amazing to feel. One of the best feeling Sonic games.
Can I take a stab at how they reintroduced Shadow to a new audience?
Sure.
Hey everybody. You know that hedgehog you like? He's black now. Written by Brian Michael Bendis.
God damn it, you fucking asshole.
That's literally that's not what happened. That is not what happened.
Sim's making a Wallace West joke.
I know.
And a Miles Morales joke. Let's be fair. Bendis has done damage to multiple universes.
Wait, was Wallace Bendis? No, because he was at Marvel still.
Yeah, he was still at Marvel when Wallace was. That was 2011.
Wallace? Who was Wallace? Was that Joshua Williamson? Do I have to be mad at Joshua Williamson about something? He seems like a nice guy.
Anyway, yeah, Sonic game good for once. Actually, no, I like Frontiers. Superstars would have been good if it wasn't for some of the worst boss battles in a 2D platformer.
Ooh.
Wasn't the one on Apple Arcade also
I heard that one was good, but it's on Apple Arcade. I'm not gonna play it right now. It will come to consoles.
I know Demi's played it.
If I have to say that with my mouth to play a game, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm looking to play this to do this game on the Apple Arcade, please. Hello. All right, never mind. Sorry, Boyo.
That's good. That's good.
No, I'm just more saying that was a Sonic game, came out, people liked it well enough.
Yeah, I just hope it gets ported to PC eventually. Also, Boingo, guess what game I also played? UFO 50.
Ooh, I need to.
You would love UFO 50, Boingo. It is
I'm gonna wait till my next bout of pay to do it because
okay.
I just bought Victory Heat Rally.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna explain what UFO 50 is.
Wait. Quick update. Joshua Williamson did not create Wallace West. Joshua Williamson wrote the Rebirth Flash series, which came a while after Wallace was introduced. Wallace was created by Van Jensen and Robert Vendetti in the Flash Annual Volume 4, Number 3 in June 2014. Take that, comments section.
All right.
So you were wrong?
Yes. We were wrong.
He was wrong. I didn't say anything about it. But anyway, UFO 50 is basically a how do I explain this? You remember Action 52?
Yeah, I understand the premise.
I have seen James Nintendo Nerd.
I'm talking to Snowcone and Simeon because I don't think they know what UFO 50 is. Okay, Action 52 was a 52-in-1 NES game, and it's balls. So UFO 50 is kind of that concept, but it's not just one of the games were good and well fleshed out. It's not that. It's not just also a retro throwback. It's also a meta narrative where you get to see this company evolve throughout the 80s and like watch hardware, like them getting more used to their hardware as pixel art becomes better, mechanics become smoother, and
Yeah, it's like an unfiction. It's also like an unfiction project.
Yeah,
That's a
and
very pretty aspect.
Yeah, it's really cool, and like the games there are legit like fun 8-bit games. Like there's RPGs, there's platformers, there's arcade games, there's sports games. My personal favorite is this game called Pilot Quest, where you basically you grind out like crystals in your hub world and then like build out your hub world, and then you go out and to get more stuff, and you basically each of the hub world and battle mechanics like each like intertwine with each other. And the cool part is if you boot up Pilot Quest and start the game and you like plant the trees that like give you crystals, if you play another game, you still get crystals in Pilot Quest. So it's still like courage to like kind of like, it come back to Pilot Quest every now and again. While you try out some other of the games.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is definitely gonna be a one for the game of the year, and it really it's also one of the coolest indie games I've seen in a bit.
Yeah, I used a term that I'm just going to explain because I don't know if everyone here knows it, of unfiction. Which is a fictional project that is designed to appear as a non-fiction piece of work.
So an ARG?
Yes, but like ARG is you're crawling around searching for clues. Unfiction is the totality of the art there. You don't have to find clues.
Yeah.
So a mockumentary.
It's mockumentary is a way of doing it in film, but like House of Leaves, that is a piece of unfiction. Several analog horrors, Petscop.
Yeah.
Like the zombie survival guide?
No, Petscop is the best way to describe it is it's an animated horror project, but it's designed to look like it is someone playing an unfinished PlayStation 1 game.
Is it the shooter?
No, it's the little guy that looks like a fucking green peanut.
Like I think Super Eye Patch Wolf's fake video games video kind of.
Yeah, he talked about that.
Yeah,
but Simeon also hasn't been watching Super Eye Patch Wolf.
He hasn't been watching anything, pussy.
Whoa!
Yeah, pussy.
Whoa! What's with this sexist language, gentlemen? I expected better from you.
This is the little dude from Petscop. This guy.
That's a heckin' little dude.
And it's all about like just the uncovered mystery and all this little bits and bobs.
Yeah. Yeah, UFO 50 is definitely like one of the coolest like examples of that in a video game in a bit.
Because it's the meta narrative of the real of a fiction.
Oh, Cody, that's so good. That's so good.
For the people who I'm not fucking grabbing.
Put it in the episode.
For the people listening to people also listen to this podcast on Spotify and Apple iTunes.
Oh,
whatever.
You're doing that again?
Yeah, we've been doing it all year.
I got it situated. So Simeon, if you would make it easier to listen on Spotify, you can. There you go.
Oh, how do I do that? Is there a quick and easy way to do that in the video description, Boingo Rider?
Yeah, you can fucking click a link. I don't fucking give a shit. Fuck me. What was I about to say?
Sporticus.
Oh, it's that's Gohan.
Gohan.
That's future
Gohan from Busanga. No, it's Busanga Gohan.
That's Busanga?
I thought you said Busanga for a second.
I thought that was the Trunks.
They used the same design.
But I was going more because of the short hair.
Yeah.
Also,
no, he has the short hair when he fights Boo in like the Boo Saga.
Yeah. Either way, Gohan dressed up as Sporticus from Lazy Town.
Yeah. Well, there's been a resurgence of Sporticus memes. I don't know where that started from.
No.
The Homelander versus Sporticus thing.
There was a what?
Yeah, it was like popping off, and everyone just like unanimously decided that it would be Spartacus.
All right.
And a bunch of funny nonsense.
It's not the union busting. It's not the multiple potential human rights violations. It's not the insane capitalistic consumption that he partakes in that makes me want Jeff Bezos to be speared through his asshole. It's the fact that the boys exist.
That's more of a Garth Ennis thing, but like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but here's the thing: that's like one of his least popular works, and it would have
Nobody
died.
would care about the boys were it not for the Amazon show.
Yeah, true. I mean,
But
apparently the last season was not great. So.
Did they all get paid? Who cares?
That's
apparently
That
gonna
was my
end it.
thought. That was my thought. While sitting there watching the credits for Venom: The Last Dance, was just, oh, look at all these people who got paid. Good for them.
I mean, thinking of the fact that Anthony Starr is hawking mobile games, I don't know. Maybe he's not getting paid.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. I've been.
yeah. A lot of
I felt real bad.
I've been following like a lot of like industry shit, like both like in voice acting, animation, just all over, and it just sounds like the most dire it's been in a bit. Because it's like one of the voice actors from Crunchyroll and Funimation, apparently the mail fraud happened where it's like they just didn't give like the stuff people mailed the person. They said, and they gave out like some of the stuff, like the little presents fans gave them as gifts to like other people without telling the people who.
Yeah, that get the post office on your ass.
Yeah, bro, Crunchyroll versus the post office, like new most wanted death
That's
battle.
a federal agency. I'd be afraid.
Oh, dude, the post office has had a federal investigative stuff since before the FBI.
Yeah, I know.
The
I've actually been watching a lot of old Last Week Tonight episodes because they're just posting them to YouTube now, and they did a whole report on it. It's really interesting. They had like a fucking TV show to promote it at one point.
Out of anything, like, here's the thing: government fucks up a ton. I will always go like, "Fuck yeah, our American Postal Service."
The one good thing America has left.
And we're still trying to service. The one thing we didn't fuck up.
No, here's the thing. Congress tried to fuck it up.
I remember. I was there.
Because now they're supposed to make a profit, and like it's never designed to. So the post office like scrambled and are like, all right. And then they were like, oh, cool, we can actually make a profit. Okay, Jesus. And like Congress is like, fuck.
Well, yeah, is that what they
just
said?
Opened a Patreon.
No.
I'd pledge.
Maybe.
Like $20 a month, you get like free stamps for life.
Free stamps for life. That's...
You get a booklet of novelty stamps.
Hell yeah.
And I'm just trying to I'm playing with some Transformers while we podcast, and right now I'm trying to transfer my G2 Legacy Core Class Megatron into a tank mode.
Oh, look at you using all the correct terminology like a proper fan. John Hasbro's so proud of you right now.
Okay, yeah. Want to go on your rant?
Oh, is it time? Is it time?
Yes.
Time for the
we just asked you to.
Yeah,
So, for those of you who are not aware, this podcast is being recorded on October 26th, 2024, which is 10 days away from American Election Day, as it so happens. So, that's a nice little pile of stress already on just about everybody in this great nation. But on top of that, Hasbro decided it was a perfect time to go ahead with their seasonal firings they've been doing since the pandemic. And they like to refer to them as layoffs or trimming the fat or this is it's firing. It's plain and simple. You can try and sugarcoat as much as you want. They fired roughly 100 people. Every article you look at will say less than 100 people or fewer than 100 people. But that could mean it's just 99 people. And 99 people is a lot of fucking people. You ever been in a room with 99 people? It's going to get a little hot in there. But that's a little bit besides the point. Because one of the people that got let go in this round of layoffs was John Warden, who people may or may not have heard the name of before, depending on how interested in or involved you are in the modern toy collecting scene, because John Warden has been with Hasbro for 25 years as of 2024. And he has actually worked on just about every IP they have ever owned or had a license for. Star Wars, Marvel, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Power Rangers. He's had his fingers in just about every pie. So in some way, shape, or form, he has influenced countless childhoods, honestly. And just recently, they moved him from being the creative director of the G.I. Joe brand back to being the creative director of Transformers, which he became shortly after Aaron Archer climbed up the corporate ladder to become head of Boys Toys in general. And if you don't know, the whole reason he was being moved back to the Transformers team from G.I. Joe is because Transformers wasn't exactly in a down period, but it had kind of plateaued. Conversely, Warden had just spent the last, I don't know, 3 to 5 years completely revitalizing G.I. Joe from an essentially dead toy brand to one of the most popular and talked about currently running toy lines. And, they thought maybe he could bring a little bit of that magic touch back to Transformers. Maybe he could get the fans all excited about some new line-wide gimmick or something like that. I don't know. I don't look at Hasbro's internal memos. That's just what I would assume. But regardless, that shit ain't happening anymore. Because that was, I want to say, about 9 months ago. Which, may be enough time to make a human, but it's not enough time to make a toy, because no product that Warden has overseen has come to retail shelves yet, but he is already fired from not just the brand, but Hasbro entirely. Just, good old thanks for your service, but it's no longer needed. Get your shit and get out. Which, kind of feels like a big steaming pile of bullshit to me. I'm not exactly John Warden. I don't know him personally. I've never even met the guy, but I watched a few interviews with him, and I've been reading and listening to posts from people who have interacted with him before over the last couple of days, and it seems like an incredible loss. From what everyone is saying, John Warden was a very knowledgeable person. He knew pretty much every step of the process of making a toy in the way Hasbro does it for a combined collector and child market these days, inside and out. And he was also a very smart man who could communicate very well with different branches of the company, to licensors and licensees. And he was also a fairly decent communicator with fans. He didn't show up on every live stream or go to every big event, but whenever he was there, he was always willing to talk and fairly personable. I think, just speaking as somebody who's seen all of his live stream appearances, the only time he's ever come off as a little bit odd or awkward to me were just times when they gave him shit that was clearly scripted ahead of time. And not having somebody like that there, whether it be at the helm or just another spoke on the wheel of all your brands, as you like to refer to them, Hasbro, seems a little bit ill-advised to me. Now, it could simply be, and I'm sure this is how Hasbro wants to spin it to everybody, that, you gotta get rid of older folks. You got to prune the branches of the tree in order to continue healthy new growth. Out with the old, in with the new. We're going to get some new people in here to fill his spots. But the fact of the matter is, that's not how these layoffs have ever gone before. The last 3 times they've happened, the last 3 years in a row, which, by the way, holy fuck, how weird is it? Every year, like clock years since the pandemic, Hasbro has just laid off a bunch of people. Sure, it's been less and less people each time, but it sure seems like they're really trying to trim down the process to just the bare essentials, which doesn't make for as rich of a product from what I know, and is also extremely abnormal for the toy industry, because the only company that does anything remotely like this is Mattel, who have firings every 3 years, and they've done that for decades, to the point where it's a thing you kind of know going in, that if you're very new, you have to be really impressive in your first couple of years, or if you've been there for a long time, you need to be planning a lateral career move or your retirement. That's just how it is there. But for Hasbro to make this a yearly thing seems like it would be an incredibly stressful thing to think about, to have ever present in the back of your mind while you're going about your job trying to create the best possible product and creative experience for the consumer as possible, especially when almost no new people are being brought in. Hasbro hasn't hired a whole lot of people, not at the corporate or creative level, since these seasonal firings have begun. They will still contract out to freelance sculptors and designers from time to time, but this happening every year, like almost like clockwork, and the sort of disturbing push towards AI-driven content in the last couple of years, and the fact that there's now rumors swirling around that Hasbro is looking to move their headquarters out of Rhode Island to Boston, it really seems like the only directive coming from the top down at Hasbro these days is just streamline as much as possible, make as much money as possible, profit, 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 line go up. Which, you know, doesn't exactly sit right for somebody like me who views toys as a artistic medium, as creative experiences to be enjoyed. And don't get me wrong, I'm not delusional. I know at its core the toy industry is about making money. At the end of the day, anything that is, hey, here, I made a product, please give me money for it, is about making a profit. But it's just the overall tone, the overall stench hovering around in the air these days in the way Hasbro does it, with the difference, the sheer difference in vibe coming out of that house of ideas now, from when folks like Alan Hassenfeld and Brian Goldner were at the helm, to when one Chris Cox, a man who made almost $2 million this year, and that's just in regular salary, not counting bonuses or anything like that, is at the helm. It really just reeks of soulless Wall Street corporate excess that doesn't benefit anybody but the folks right at the top of the food chain. And you know, I'm generally a pretty non-violent person, and I like to assume the best of everybody until proven otherwise. But the simple fact is, there's plenty of dots to connect now, and I feel pretty confident saying, I think Chris Cox would taste pretty nice when he's all broiled and basted. If I'm being perfectly honest. I hope John Morton lands on his feet somewhere. From what I hear, he's a guy who plans very well. He was a family man who had several different kids, and you know, it's not like the guy's dead. He's gonna figure out something else, and there is a thriving freelance market out there. But the whole thing just sucks, especially when 2 days later, Hasbro's in London showcasing a bunch of new products from all their different brands and IPs. And tomorrow, as of this recording, is their big Pulse Premium Members 1027 event, where they're going to walk around Hasbro headquarters and show you cool behind-the-scenes looks at all the latest new products that are coming up. And, you know, in years past, I've been pretty excited for that. I've pushed this channel when I was somewhat having a say in our creative direction to covering that stuff, but these days I don't feel like watching that shit, and it takes a very strong pull for me to want to order anything they've promoted in the last year. I have a couple items on their way that were basically already paid for, and I have one pre-order with them right now, but I don't know if I'll be purchasing too much brand new Hasbro product at any time when one Christopher Cox is still in charge. I'm done.
I get it all. Trust me. Hasbro's been on a pretty odd incline and decline simultaneously, and pretty much every time we see shit like this happen, uh, there's always some sort of crack. Because like, I mean, I appreciate like the level at which we're talking about it, because it does suck for fucking John Warden, especially when like. I don't think it was 6 months ago. I'm pretty sure it was sooner than that news was like he was moving over. Because I remember being like a little iffy about that, and I'm like, oh man, what is that gonna mean? But it'll be cool to see that energy like focused elsewhere. And then now it's not. Um, we don't really know what that'll mean, but we know a lot of the designers are still very like about it. But I mean, I don't know, man. Like Hasbro has like been towing this line with shit with a lot of their stuff, like whether it's pushing us in like the very small margin of like marking up their products during like the pandemic on purpose, and like putting out like shit saying that it's like, oh, I mean, it's like, oh, we have to do this. It has to be charged like this, but like they pretend
It
that people don't
sucks, right? Because like
notice
you
it.
can't. The product is still good, and you can see the value there with most of it. And I like the people who are still there, but at the end of the day, a man who committed 25 years of his life to that company is gone, and he's one of potentially 99 people, the only one who we have named.
No, I know. They straight up have laid off a mass amount of people. I'm pretty sure them closing that Rhode Island branch is not a rumor. That was an announcement that I read. I remember reading more and more about that
Well,
because
it's
I was
been
very
under
upset.
consideration for most of this year. It's like every couple of months you hear like, "Oh, they're thinking about it."
Well, because the main thing is they pulled a lot of talent from Rhode Island School of Art and Design. They were pretty much right there in the same vicinity as the college.
And
It was one of
and
the
the
only
thing
places that you could get, one of the only places in the entire country, as a matter of fact, that you can get a master's in toy design.
Yeah, and something Aaron Archer pointed out on his live stream last night that I that honestly made my stomach sink a little bit. Um, a lot more people are going to lose their jobs if they do move to headquarters because they're not moving all those employees. They're not moving all those model painters. They're not keeping all that archive shit. They're going to go to a smaller headquarters if they move headquarters. And so there's a lot of like industry knowledge and actual physical history that could potentially be lost if that happens.
Yeah, I mean every big company. Well, sorry, no.
Yeah, I'd like to
Everything that
expand.
was something that we enjoyed pretty much at any point that has survived is only going to change, and it's either going to continue to like make the right decisions, like we've seen companies like Lego do it, or get lucky, or they're going to fuck up. Some of these companies are big enough to fuck up in a very major way, regroup and just keep going, and they have to like re-understand what you know people actually want again, or like find what their niche is again. Or some of them just don't recover, but they're getting to the size to where like a little bit of a fuck up here and a little bit of a fuck up there is going to rock them severely, especially when they have people as meticulous as collectors that they're mainly trying to maybe not pander to, but I mean they're also toys for everybody else. Like I mean they're literally designed for everyone, and like when you see them stray away from like the packaging and stuff like that, and they ignore a lot of that shit and like leave holes in the packaging for people to like steal stuff out of,
It's
that's when you
interesting
see it.
that they're designed for everyone because it also does feel like they're getting a little more and more specific each year, where they're going for like the fan that wants the more and more like animation accurate or obscure character or this, that, or the other thing who just has endless money to pay for it. Again, this is something Aaron Archer talked about on his live stream last night. It kind of feels like they're starting to look for whale, to put it in what did he say
Yeah,
it was?
I mean,
Like
that's
the
what HasLab is.
Yeah, Haslab is
Yeah.
like it's just big frick off money thing. Where it's like
And
get your friends, get your expensive friends to pay for it to get more out of your toy.
You have $400 right at the beginning of the holidays? No, you don't. Come buy our new Ecto 1. I mean, Ectomobile, because we have to call it that for some stupid reason.
And like I just
that's weird.
and like
And
we
here's,
like
and here's the thing. Y'all have been talking about toys. That is not even mentioning Wizards of the Coast.
yeah.
That's the other
Yeah.
thing, is like Hasbro keeps moving their terminology more and more towards like this Disney-esque bullshit of, oh, we're not a toy company, we're not even an entertainment company, we're an IP company. We make these incredibly valuable and well-beloved brands that we can license out to people and can be used to make incredible products. Not by us though. No, we're not some lowly toy company. Why don't you license this from us so you can make toys of it and we can just rake in the dough?
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
here's the thing. I hate to put it this way. D&D gave them that model.
Yeah.
Like
Here-
D&D
Gonna go
was
beat up Gary Gygax. Give me a minute.
no. It would not be Gary Gygax. Gary was very much how TTRPG should be, which is, hey, we do a rule set and we make adventures, but you can also make your own adventures and sell them, which is where most of the TTRPG like stuff kind of lies. But go.
I was gonna say that like Hasbro as a company with their ever growing like fingers trying to like get into all different types of things, as they find more of those things start to work better, they end up like just being flashes of success. They're pulling from like their base. They're constantly plateauing out but pulling from their base, and that's when you use terms like trimming the fat, or what they said, well, I forget what it was, like seasonal fire, or no, they said something else. It was like a streamlining. That's what they said. A streamlining vision of the company, which is, you know, what they
Corporate speak.
decided on after you're sitting around like either in a Zoom call or something, being like, how are we going to phrase this so it doesn't sound like we're firing a bunch? Anyways, like they keep overextending themselves and then pulling more and more from like their core value, what made them true in that way. And like they're just gonna get to the point to where they're gonna like exhaust people. Like
Mhm.
they could either keep it going or they will fuck it up.
Like,
And as soon as the shit fails, I mean, I don't know.
that's a good point to bring up, because I have felt from time to time in the last year, as much as I love classified, there's only so many times you can buy super articulated military or ninja guy. As much as I love Transformers, there's only so many ways you can make a car turn into a robot and have it be unique and fun. At a certain
I would
point, you
disagree
do
with you on
kind of
that part, actually.
plateau,
Hang on.
especially when you're hitting for these certain price points and line-wide gimmicks.
So here's what I'll say about that, because I go through this, and I collect more than just Hasbro. I buy a lot of
Oh, yeah.
Hasbro for sure, but I routinely throughout the year, throughout my life, collect not just Hasbro. And so like, I mean, we're never going to see a day where like there won't be some sort of, I mean, especially just because of how successful Transformers has been, we're always going to see a toy like it, no matter what, even if Transformers dies, which might be tough. Like, because I feel like that would be one of the last legs to stand on. Like the core toy IPs that Hasbro own would be the only things they have to fall back on or sell off. But the comment about only so many ways a transformer can transform, or like a car can turn into a robot. See, that's the difference that I've always weighed against myself if I'm thinking about what I'm buying, just as either a kid or as an adult, and like collecting thing, or like just buying something I like to enjoy as a hobby. Like I understand and appreciate like remolds and stuff like that, especially when it's like Sunstreaker, or if it's like Starscream, where it makes sense, and it's like, yeah, I mean, they're not really beating a dead horse if it's what we want anyway, and we want like Scrimblow 17 through 19. I mean, obviously we got to get that, but it's not always pushing and not always delivering across the board, because don't make us understand that, oh yeah, you like, oh, that sideswipe mold, it's a pretty good mold.
Mhm.
And when it is a good toy and it's a fun thing to play with and transform and pose, and it's kind of like doing it all, especially just like with real life cars, so much life is breathed right back into it the second you color it something different, and it has a whole different personality to it. But and that's just me like kind of arguing on like the
All right, I
acceptance
think we
of that.
lost the plot a bit. We're more talking about corporate shit than like
I'm trying
the
to bring it
creative
back to that. I'm saying like they make us understand that they save money in these ways, but then fail us when they're not actually delivering on like, oh, you know, I see that one right there is where a lot of the budget went to. But why you as a company can't make it the rest of the way for these other things? Like, why was Sideburn such a failure when like why did that even happen? Who thought that was like close enough?
Yeah.
Like I
They
don't
let
get
you
it. Like,
peek behind the curtain just enough that you have some knowledge, but that knowledge makes you question all of their corporate decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
Like
that's-
at the end of the day, I don't know. Like, did you guys see that? Like the local news affiliate, I think it was Fox 12 in Pawtucket, did a story about Warden that
Yeah.
day.
No.
Yeah,
Um,
I saw it. I read like the whole thing for that.
Yeah, I watched the clip from I guess it was like the 6 o'clock news. And in that interview he does in there, he really looks like he's putting on a brave face. Because A, he doesn't want to burn bridges, and B, he probably knows everybody who he knows and everybody who knows him is gonna watch that at some point. But it's that kind of brave face that a guy puts on where, you know, he's not gonna cry, but he kind of wants to, and it makes you want to cry. And that's my point in being upset about all of this is ever since they started rolling out these live streams and this Hasbro Pulse, oh, we're here for the fans. Look at the people who make the toys. Look at them promoting the toys. Isn't this great? Aren't we being really connected with our fans? Kind of a thing. And heck,
Or
even
like putting out the sculptors and saying like, hey, this is the person who sculpted this toy.
And you can even date it back to the early 2000s when Aaron Archer had his own subform on TFW where people could ask him questions about Armada and Energon as those lines were being released. The fact that we know these people who are making toys for us and the kids coming after us as people makes me care about them in the same way I would an author of one of my favorite books, or a director of one of my favorite movies, or an actor in a play I've just seen. Like, at the end of the day, these are people doing incredible, technical, passionate, artistic work for the benefit of millions. And when you get us emotionally invested in them, you're playing a dangerous game that is gonna come back at you when you start shifting your corporate philosophy into one that doesn't support them anymore.
Not only have we always heard that term, especially if you've been a super fan of Transformers, like his name, I'm sorry, like heard his name all the time, but especially when they started doing these more up close and personal interviews with the people who make the toys, and it feels like we have this direct connection to the thing that we love and then the thing that we get to put in our hands. I think what is going to happen is the company isn't smart enough to make the human decision because it's too broad and too corporate. So
Yeah.
they're simply going to continue to push in the wrong direction unless somebody who is up there is like, well, obviously, you know, this is how we got here. If they can't see or at least can't understand the monetary value of that. And what will happen is either the quality will fail, it'll find a landing somewhere else, or they'll have to reset or really quickly readjust.
I've been trying
And
really hard not to make this analogy all night, but honestly, it does remind me of back when like a bunch of wrestlers would get fired from WWE every 6 months, and everybody would be like, "How could you do this to these people who we have been following their work for so long?" Like it's like even because here's the thing, Warden wasn't like a fan favorite. He was kind of controversial. A lot of people like didn't like him towards the end of his time on Transformers because a lot of people thought he was the one holding it down to it has to always reference back to G1. And then he did the glorious move of greenlighting Kingdom and all the new Beast Wars figures on the way out. But when he got announced to be coming back, like that was a talking point for like a day and a half in the fandom after that. Is like, oh man, are we about to have a hard shift back to G1? John Warden's coming back. What's gonna happen? And now he's gone. Everybody's like, oh, not John. I like that guy. What are you doing?
So then here, and I'm not. I'm not trying to intentionally steer away from like the corporate thing. Like
Yeah.
that is a given, and that's how I'm trying to view half of this. It's always going to be shitty where people get fired, but like Hasbro is literally putting us into the living rooms of these people, getting us comfortable with them, and then still thinking that you can continue to more corporate than not, which will fail in that way. I mean, maybe it's something that needs to happen so it can make room for more wholesome and successful toy lines and companies to, rise back up through the ranks. And I mean, 52 Toys is right there with like brand new stores all across America where it's just their motherfucking product.
Or Valaverse, or Big Bad Workshop, or frickin' Four Horsemen.
I don't think Valor. I mean the GI Joe stuff is pretty much exactly how I've always seen it. I'm not trying to like say anything positive towards them since this is like a shitting on them and they have plenty of things to be shitting on about. Like
No, it's fair. I don't have any Valaverse product myself, and I think Bobby Bala kind of comes off like a blowhard on his YouTube channel, but it's got its fans.
You know what this whole thing is just mentally reminding me of that kind of devaluing of what their actual product is and overvaluing the conceptual idea of like multifaceted IP, trimming the fat, making somewhat boneheaded business decisions with like just speaking generally like letting go a ton of D&D staff right after Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Making Lorien Studio not want to touch them ever again, kind of thing. And Simeon, you're gonna fucking make a brain blast in a second.
Okay.
It's reminding me of mid-90s Marvel.
Yeah? Not a brain blast, but definitely a light went off.
Like, the thing is, they immediately had a bubble burst and they had to restructure, and so couldn't continue down that path. Is there a bubble bursting in the toy sphere? Probably not.
I mean, in a
no, I
way
think
there kind of is, but I don't know. It's not a bubble bursting. It's more like it's slowly deflating because you had a huge inflation during COVID because, as Ryan Bonabia at Toy Federation likes to say all the time, everybody had all this money and everybody was just buying up. People who weren't even into toys were asking people who were into toys, like, what's the hot item? What do I get? I just want to come in here and make money. And now everything's kind of back to normal. I am definitely in the camp that says we should still be a little careful about this shit, but whatever, besides the point. People are acting like shit is back to normal, so all that spare money has dried up, and so all this stuff companies started doing because, oh, we have all this extra cash now, we can do these other things, or we can service these other markets we couldn't afford to before. That stuff's kind of falling on its face because by the time it makes it to market, the market's not there anymore.
I think that there's still a very large in like the collector or model kit or like Lego hobby or toys in general. I think that the love for that was still strong and it still is growing.
Oh yeah,
Um,
the hardcore collector's not going anywhere. The casual market is
that's
weak
not
right
what
now,
I'm saying.
though.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that there is
Okay.
a wider growth of the casual market more interested in like model kits and stuff like that. And I could see that being true with the resurgence of like larger model kit sections in big retail stores and like more obscure model kits being more available in my like local areas and stuff like that and like other stuff like collectibles and like things that just wouldn't happen before, but also like stuff like 52 Toys and other things like able to just kind of like pop up over a short amount of time and exist in the Americas and all other types of like continents and like really start hitting it up globally. Um, I think that the love is always still there. I think when we see shit fluctuating like we do in the scale that we do in the window that we do, it's because companies are fucking up. Like
Yeah.
obviously like this hobby exists because people choose to spend their money, but people always choose to spend their money somewhere. And
There
toys are kind
also
of
is
always
just
going
the
to.
fact that like younger people aren't collecting like people have in the past, and I'm not saying like, oh, kids today don't care about toys. It's just they care about toys to a different extent. When I
And
talk to
also,
younger
if I could,
collectors, it's go ahead, Boingo.
no. I was just about to point out that nerd collector culture is different now.
Yeah, it's
Like,
more of a representational thing. Like, oh, I just want this character that I like. I don't necessarily care that they have all the articulation or the detail or the accessories. I just want to get this character that I like. I don't necessarily have loyalty to this line or this company or this property.
you get the waifu statue you want.
Mhm. Or, oh, hey, I just watched this show. I really like this one character. I'd like to get a figure of them. Oh, there's a Funko Pop. That's fine. Oh, there's a Marvel Legend. That's fine. You know, it's the same thing to a lot of the people who are coming up now. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. It just is what it is. Because the other thing is, people have less and less money these days. You know, like if you can afford to get all your groceries, and then you can't afford the Marvel Legend, but you can afford the keychain. I'll get the keychain, or maybe I'll just save that money. I don't know.
Or you get lucky and go to a Ross and find the thing that you currently have pre-ordered on sale for more than
That's true. That
80% off.
happens too. But that's a consequence of choosing the keychain, or that casual market ebbing away.
I don't think that that's related to the casual market. That's not.
No, but I also it just seems like all the talk about this is just making alarm bells of like, this is pre-bankruptcy Marvel just overextending. And
I definitely do think there's a expiration date on the 6-inch action figure renaissance we're in right now. I don't know when it is, but I definitely think it's sometime in the next decade where people are just going to go, oh, this is costing way too much on both ends. We need to move to a different scale or a different style or just change up something to make it make more sense.
I mean,
I just
there
think
are
like
actively
something you're
other.
all like not considering. Every industry is going through this, and like they're all in various phases, but they're all dangerously close to getting to the point where we don't like it.
I mean, I'm considering it. I just hadn't brought it up because I've been focused on talking about toys right now.
right,
Yeah, it's fine.
That's what
I'm
I was
just
saying.
saying
Is
it's
it's
not
not the
just a
market
toy
dying.
problem. It's an
I mean,
entertainment media problem.
AAA movies.
AAA video games, movies, video games, like
Didn't
books,
Ubisoft
comics.
ask like $50 for early access to a game recently?
Yes.
Live concerts even with
Yeah.
Ticketmaster and everything.
Yeah. Ticketmaster's been a bitch recently. So I'm just saying.
No,
like, I'm
but
not,
we're analyzing this through the micro lens of the current Hasbro situation.
I get that. Like that's what you're all like focused on. I'm just saying,
It's funny how something as simple and silly as the toy industry can make you think about the fact of, ooh, we've been on the brink of a recession how many times in my lifetime now?
yeah. I feel like we're already in a recession right now because I could get.
Nope.
We're on the knife's edge, I'd say.
We're on the knife's edge. Inflation has gone up. It hasn't really gone down since COVID.
Yeah.
And it just keeps stagnating. Wages haven't increased any whatsoever since what?
No jobs
2007?
are getting made.
Not even 2007. Like we have stagnated wages since like late 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, and a lot of it was. I honestly feel that like a good portion of this was definitely like there was this big wave notion of like, oh, there's gonna be another one. Oh Jesus, there's gonna be a inflation. Like there's gonna be a massive inflation, and then all the like every like retail like main box whatever company just saw that as simply an excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be like, oh well, guys, I'm sorry, we totally did. Oh, I mean the egg industry did it. Like a fuck ton of like different
Milk.
companies inside Walmart, milk. Yeah, like
I
all
mean,
different types of food. Hasbro
Not
definitely
even
did that.
not even
yeah,
counting the fact that
prices
what was it,
changed
2021? They
overnight.
raised their prices by $2 twice in the same year.
Yeah,
not even counting aspects of like other economic factors such as like shrinkflation, where they give you less product for the same amount of money.
Yeah.
We're literally seeing like everything as a whole operate as your worst, shittiest ran corporate everything. Which I mean is pretty much kind of
And
been
you know
like
what?
the going rate
To
anyway.
throw a little bone, I will say Hasbro's the only company in the toy industry that hasn't actively felt like they've been engaging in shrinkflation, because they're charging you more, but they're giving you the same amount of stuff. They're not taking stuff away.
I disagree.
That's just
I-
inflation.
Hold on.
Yeah,
No, hang on.
Exactly. It's
Um,
not as bad, but it's still bad.
They really, I think it's been a very close like with like Black Series with like Marvel Legends, like they were falling off for a minute and then people stopped buying them as much and then they started pushing more and listening to what people wanted with more hands, more this, more that. I don't want just like a Spider-Man in a suit with nothing else in the box and you sell it to me for $25 and no build a figure. I'm not like that's insane. That's a blank figure that you painted. Like I know the cost on that versus everything else, and it's stupid. When they could afford to give us more, I think they do react in some way, but they are pushing us in like the price department. Because like I know that there's a real number that they could sell it at and still have it be good at, but that number is not their goal. Their goal is to be overpaid.
Yeah, you're right. There definitely was a dip there. I was more so speaking to just products I've picked up in the last year.
Right.
But no, I mean,
But yeah,
I
this is a lot. This is a pickle and a pie.
I mean, here's the thing. Just looking at other industries and how people are reacting, AAA video game industry starts doing all this bullshit. Most people are turning to the indies to get their video games now.
Yeah.
Like, when, like,
Or at the very
it's more
least, most of the
affordable.
$1 million sellers have been more like global titles rather than these like big American blockbusters. You know,
lot of-
global
lot of
titles,
sleeper hits.
double A games are being much more of a prominent thing. The last
Yeah.
big AAA game that I think actually took hold and was seen as like good AAA, value worthy, all that kind of stuff is Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Or Space Marines.
I would consider that a double A. I would consider that a double A game.
Well,
And I
you
only
know,
saw like a
isn't,
couple
like-
of people talking about that for a week. That wasn't like all pervasive.
Yeah, and
Oh, no,
also Space
people are
Marines is
still
like
blown.
$70.
People are still talking about it. People are still talking about it, but I'm saying it's like it's a popular game, but like that doesn't
Most
feel like
of the
it has.
Space Marine games come out at full price anyways. Like they
Also,
follow
Cody,
the
that's
brand.
your spaces as a Space Marines fan and a gamer compared to my space as a just general toy fan and guy who occasionally plays video games.
No, I
Like,
mean like there's been like countless articles on like
Yeah, no,
like,
I'm not saying you're wrong, but to me,
Saber
it was like,
talking trash.
I
And
didn't
Saber's
even-
also been doing the same thing with like other.
I just didn't consider Space Marine like a triple A. It's like double A to me.
Yeah, I guess Saber would be the thing that would make the.
But
True
like
that. True though.
the big games that people have been talking about are smaller projects.
Yeah, even if they still cost $70.
But in that same sphere, like that's brought up TTRPGs. In the TTRPG sphere, it's not D&D's dominating a lot of discussion. It's other projects because D&D's got a lot of bad will right now. And
Yeah.
people just don't want to deal with it. So they're looking to other places. Morkborg is getting a lot of talk. OSC is getting a lot of talk. Dungeon Call Classics is getting a lot of talk, right?
or hell, like things are worse than ever in the comic industry right now, where a lot of like big name characters just straight up can't get a series right now because they can't make the numbers that they want them to.
But look at the indie sphere and how well and vibrant it is right now. And books are selling and selling well. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, the multiple Scott Snyder horror books that he's been putting out or helping edit and produce because he's headlining a lot of that at Image. Or Power Fantasy by Gillian from X-Men. It's fantastic, by the way, Simeon. You should read it.
I've heard good things.
Basically,
I started reading Gail Simone, G. Will Wilson's fantasy project recently, and it's fairly good.
Yeah. Oh, I just fucking read Once in Future, which is also by Kieran Gillen. It's a horror book where the premise is what if King Arthur was actually like a demonic lich?
I think so.
Back on the topic.
I was just gonna say, like, I don't think that, like, I literally don't think that toys as a concept will ever fade away. Like,
Oh yeah,
human
nobody's
beings will
saying
always
that.
want to
It's just
collect things. I know. I'm just like using that as a thing to say it. Like, I
You're
think
you're
there's always
iterating
gonna
a
be like,
thesis.
yeah, like everything's always gonna be like ever changing, and there's always gonna be like a reset. But like, I mean, the biggest things we see right now is like we see like all these like third party companies coming in to make like using 3D printed parts that are already ready to like 100%ed. We're seeing these companies come out of nowhere and be able to like start like little tiny action figure companies
But
with
that's what we're
good
talking about,
articulation.
Cody, is that's smaller, more concentrated, specifically targeted stuff as compared to the bigger, more all-encompassing, ubiquitous stuff
Yeah,
that has been the
that's the point I'm making
standard
to
for
agree with
decades
what y'all are
now.
saying. That's
You are agreeing. You're just
it is
iterating in a
the
different way.
yeah,
Okay.
it's the push and the different adjust to means, because when things like this happen, when like money starts getting tight in other ways, or like companies don't deliver in other ways, if there's a demand, if there's like a, a group of people wanting, like things will just happen. And I mean, most people have affordable like streamlined 3D printers that could like really start doing it, and that's probably going to be the way some of this goes. We're like, hey man, if you really want to get involved with like collecting cool things because they're cool or because they're toys, this is kind of the easiest way to have everything you could want like that. Like, or if you want the name brand shit, I mean, there's always going to be stuff like that. But I mean, if you look at your ollies and see all the Disney branded stuff that's like Hasbro, like play pattern, or Hasbro like movie related stuff that's just like sat and rot in like every single ollies across the country. I don't know. I think large change will happen in the scale of that.
It's a
There's
slow
always going to
process.
be something interesting happening.
It
It's a
is
slow process that
interesting.
we're not going to see the full breadth of immediately.
It's almost like somebody should be taking notes and like preparing to make a book about this shit or something.
Yeah. Write some kind of manifesto.
yeah.
Anyway, that was a really heavy discussion. Let's move on to something a little lighter.
That
How about
was
this
like the whole
election?
podcast. That was the whole
No.
podcast, dude. You just took over the whole podcast just to rant about your existentialism.
I did ask Boingo last night if it was okay if I came on to talk about this.
I wanted to watch and talk about Speed Racer, but whatever, dude.
Yeah, that's the next Analytical Fanboys. It was gonna be Speed Racer, but then
Was that supposed to be tonight?
No.
No, except two of us said yes.
yes.
Boingo,
We both
I asked
got-
you if there was anything going on tonight.
And I said no because we have 3 components in between 2 analytical
We have never
fanboys.
established that rule. We only establish end of the month. We do Analytical Fan.
What are you talking? That's how the fucking establishment happened. Like, it's
No.
the same rule, just different time
Yeah, but-
scale.
But
I
we've broke the
tried to
time
be
scale
nice, and
just
I
to
started
make
a
it for
fight.
the end of the month before.
I tried to be very polite and be professional, and I started a fight.
Oh no, I just think it's funny because I was like,
Yeah, it is funny.
100%. We ended the podcast last week. Like, all right, next week Speed Racer, and I'm like, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And then
I
like
do not
nothing is said for a
this.
whole week, and me and Buster are like, all right, time for Speed Racer, and I'm like, I'm so excited.
That's the problem there, Simeon. You shouldn't have asked me. You should have asked all of us so they could remind me.
Well, I only have access
you
to
should
the
have asked
public
all of us,
channel,
too.
and I thought it would be more professional to DM the guy who friggin' edits the thing.
It's just silly.
It's just silly Billy.
I'll watch the
Look,
movie.
look
again
what you
next week. I
did,
don't give a
Chris
shit.
Cox.
How
You
could
fucker.
you? No.
So, same time next week? Nah, I kid. That was just a, I don't know, dumb segue
It
joke.
is
What
cool
else
to
have
talk
I
a little bit. Oh,
Do
yeah.
what?
Anyway, Venom Free is a dumpster fire, and I loved every second of it.
Yeah,
I
I think you
haven't
already
seen
it's been like an hour because we've been
And you
talking
already
about this.
mentioned that.
I
Yeah,
mentioned
exactly.
it like once at the very top of the show, and then we quickly moved into discussing something else. I forget now.
Yuck, yuck, yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
No, life is but a dream.
Yeah.
Shaboom.
Like, I'm gonna be honest. I said I had a lot of notes. It was either that or I was just gonna go on a big go out and vote rant.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Don't
Christ,
remind me. I
please.
mean, like, the episodes do come out on Tuesday now, so.
Go out and vote, everybody. I hope
Yeah,
you're
well-
listening to this in line at the polling place right now.
yeah. But it's a fraud
Here's-
thing.
it's
We
funny
all know
because,
where we
like-
all stand and everything. So
Yeah, I don't want to get too into it.
Well, it's just
I want
funny
it to be
because,
done.
like, in years past, I have been a very firm and I still believe this. The right to vote also implies the right not to vote if you don't want to. But I also think when life and the universe is handing you such a glorious chance for a do-over, how could you be so stupid as to make the same choice twice?
I'm gonna start making an AMV right now.
All right, cool. Got some Evanescence going on?
No, I know what. I already picked out the song. I just
House of Protection. House of Protection.
We could talk about House of. We could. I mean, I'm not going to use House of Protection, but basically, I saw this trend going around on Bluesky with a couple of VTubers where it's like, what if I was a 2010s YouTube countdown with like all the footage of like you have the rock song from like your favorite show, and then you got like a bunch of video game footage and anime shit in the background, and I'm like, I want to do that. That's some fun editing practice. I'm gonna do that and upload it to Bluesky. So it might be out by the time this is out.
That's the thing. Is also Blue Sky is so new and their video feature is already so robust. People who liked to make content like that for YouTube but stopped because of content bots, and then the same thing happened on Twitter. It's time for a renaissance, folks. Let's go.
Yeah.
What was I about to say? About to say something. Oh, House of Protection.
House of Protection.
I need to fucking send you House of Protection, Cody.
Yeah, they may.
Do you remember a little bit ago, like a few years ago, they kind of did a couple songs that got really popular. Fever 333.
Fever 333. I don't know.
Okay. Well, basically, they were a band. They did some new metal revival stuff. They got pretty popular. Two of the members, it was a 3-member band. Two of the members were like, "This sucks. We quit." And I was like, what the fuck? The singer kept going on with the band with new musicians, and it's not as good. I'm not a fan of it, their newer stuff. The two guys who quit came back and made a brand new band called House of Protection, and it is pretty good. Hold on.
Yeah, Boingo introduced me, and I'm like, I'm hooked. It's really good shit.
I can't, because the guys were also in 2 other bands. I can't remember. They're being produced by a former member of Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah, and they've already done some really cool things with their music videos.
Thing to say.
They've already done some really cool things with their music videos. They flew out to India or a place like that, and they had a whole bunch of vehicles circling around them with doing dangerous stunts. It was really cool.
Have they done music with Bloodywood?
Not yet.
No. They just fucking released an album. Bloodywood did.
Yeah, and I think Digbar just released a new too. We all love Digbar. Digbar raps.
Yeah. Here is if it will go through in a second. My computer's being slow. Hey, I'm saving up money. I'm gonna get one eventually.
No excuses now, Mr. Job.
That's the other thing about what we were talking about earlier with how the toy industry is shifting. I think it will be very interesting to see how there's probably going to be a market that will emerge over the next 10 to 15 years of people who only engage with toys through 3D printers, like people who only do PC gaming, and every 5 to 10 years buy a whole new machine from the ground up, and they save for that.
I think you'd have to look more at how the 3D printing community already functions.
Yeah,
that's where a lot of
that's true. I only know very little about it, but
you're more likely to find statue stuff kind of going forward.
Yeah,
unless Sim, you are right if you are talking about Nerf.
Okay,
because 3D printed Nerf blasters are a very common thing.
I mean, 3D printed toy lines are a very common thing.
Yeah, but I'm saying specifically 3D printed blasters tend to be on par or better than store-bought blasters. They are reputable within that sphere.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of videos on Grandma trying out different tensile strength of built-in 3D printed springs for launchers. Just single fire thing.
Is this also tied into that weird subset of psychos who are we're gonna figure out a way to 3D print a gun and they should never introduce legislation against that?
No, It's very much within the toy sphere with Nerf blasters. And there's one guy I've seen who made like the best way I could describe it is like a zip tie action figure with a 3D printer. Like the joints are all like zip tied bits to make an action figure.
I mean, could you not just print off a bunch of parts that end in ball joints?
I mean, fundamentally, that'd be because we've talked about this, Cody, forever ago. Of like, hey, let's make our own toy company, and
it's not fundamentally. There's like 9 of them out there right now.
But no, I'm saying
that are like popular, and you could just. I could probably send you like 2 links before like.
What I mean by fundamentally is this idea. We wanted to do this idea as well. That's what I was trying to get at.
I'm just saying, like we're talking about it. Like, wouldn't it be cool if? And it's like.
It exists.
It's been done.
I think Boingo was saying that you guys used to talk about it. Like, wouldn't it be cool?
Oh, for sure. I mean, we've been talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we save up money. We just make our own shit. Fucking do it.
Make that shit.
Give up.
Squat on down. Release it in the feeders. Call it Venom. The Last Dance.
No, alright, shut up. Get it,
Venom, I shit my pants.
And then you shit your pants at Tom Cruise.
There was like 3 other people in the theater. I could have.
Oh,
brother, that don't stop me.
Here's an old one. This older guy one that's done with 3D printing and zip ties. But.
No, actually, specific footage hard.
I had an idea for a thing, Cody. Fuck off. Of Crazy Bone like, but it's sets of like minion monsters. So it's like skeletons and goblins and slimes for collecting, but also using them as a DM.
Wait a minute. Stop speaking. Dormati.
Midi?
Black Midi.
Legends of Dormidi.
Yeah, this is basically what I was thinking. The technology is already here.
Yeah, and that's a video from 5 years ago, Simeon. So, like, the 3D printing has improved by leaps and bounds. Anything you can think of has improved leaps and bounds.
Yeah, which is why I said, like, there's going to be guys who save up every 5 years to buy a brand new machine so they can keep getting the newest and best products.
Damn it, I cannot think of the name. I have some around me somewhere. There's literally your idea has been done, and I collected the retro toys of it. It's similar to the Muscle Guys, but they were painted. They're called like Dormidi. Dude, I was thinking of like about that. Dormidi.
Here's the thing: you could do like a new line of them, and just just because it's been done before doesn't mean you can't do your own take on something. You know,
Gormidi. Yeah, Gormidi. Fucking Skimidi, dude. That's of course.
Skimidi.
The gulp shitto of. No, that's not anything to do with it.
Jesus Christ.
Cheesy rice.
Cheesy rice with Jesus Christ.
That's
right, there you go. Right. There's your idea.
All right, cool. Thank you.
There you go. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck me.
So anyway, I've been watching a lot of Game Changer clips.
So yeah, they've been on YouTube Shorts. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fantastic show. Brennan Lee Mulligan is he's a man I aspire to be like.
Yeah. I like the Brian David Gilbert clips. Like
those are good too.
Yeah, like the ones where just like Brian David Gilbert just like contestant. I need I Boingo gave me his account. I need to watch Game Changer properly. I only used it to watch frickin'
Frickin'.
And her last name's not coming to me at the moment, but Siobhan has a very good dry wit.
Siobhan Thompson.
Siobhan Thompson.
A lot of the crew at Dropout are fantastic.
And then there's of course Sam Reich, who I'm shocked that man hasn't been floated a late night contract yet.
Oh, because he owns Dropout.
Yeah. Oh, he owns it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh, you don't know the lore. Okay.
No, I don't know. I know they used to be College Humor, and that's it.
Okay, so College Humor got bought out by basically a company that owned a bunch of internet IPs.
Was it the same one that bought Smosh?
No.
Okay.
This one is a completely different company. But I understand the concern. Because it's a very similar situation. Eventually, at a meeting, the corporate leaders were talking and we're asking, all right, how much do you think College Humor is worth? And Sam Reich gave out a number, and the executives were like, you know what? I take that right now. And it's like, oh shit, they want to get rid of us. Fuck.
Mm.
And what had happened is they were going to shop around and see if there was a potential buyer for College Humor. They didn't find one, and they took Sam's pitch, which was basically, we buy the company, I buy the company, you have partial ownership, but no longer controlling ownership, and so on and so forth. But basically, he's now the CEO owner of Dropout, and that happened right before COVID.
Okay, so he essentially bought it out from people who were going to sell out of them anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, good for him.
And he is also a cast member, so that's why I wouldn't say that's the only reason why, but it is like he's a lot more integrated with everybody. So he's like, no, I want you to be paid well. So he's a lot more equitable and stuff. There was a fucking interview. I'll send it to you eventually. But like, there was an interview where like it was for one of those finance magazines, and they were like, what is up with this guy doing like equitable business with his employees and being successful? And he's just like,
what is with this executive being a decent human being? That doesn't make sense.
I mean, the person doing the interview didn't have that kind of tone, but like, I just see who is like the company that was like published in, and he's like, oh, okay. But yeah, no, and like Dropout's been profitable. Like they've been making a profit. They haven't had any downswells. So
good for them.
I don't like looking at everything like downswells and fucking stocks. Like
I know, but it's just more of like they are being rewarded for their efforts. It's a better way to put it. They haven't struggled. And Sim, if you want to watch more Dropout stuff, you can just fucking ask for my account.
Can I please have your account?
Yes, I will send it to you.
I think we have it like linked like somewhere.
Is it? Did I pin it?
You pinned it. Well, I mean,
I pinned it in members only.
Yeah.
And you're no longer a member.
Well,
just an only fan.
That's a good one.
OnlyScott.com.
I don't think Scott the Wise would do that.
It's just for people with shame kinks.
No, it's not even like a sexual thing. It's just wholesome pictures of guys named Scott.
See, I just watched I rewatched the first Evil Dead recently, and I'm like, some guys named Scott are just kind of assholes.
That's true.
I mean, we're with one right now.
Scott is just generic white guy name. It's no different than Chris or David.
But no, Dropout is genuinely like what I like aspire the creative output to kind of be like, of just like, we're making the things we want to make. Fuck the world. We have a dedicated fan base that supports us, kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah. Sure would be nice to have been in that position at some point in my life.
Yeah.
There's still time.
There's always time.
You can change your ways.
I'm not about to announce a return.
No, you literally come back here every other day.
Yeah, but that's like going over to my friend's house. That's not saying like I'm going to embark on a new creative endeavor of fucking give me money to talk about toys on the internet.
Well, here's the thing.
You can just do it for the love of it.
It's like Batman's kill rule.
Yeah, it's flexible.
It's like Batman's kill rule. If he does it once, he's gonna dive full into influencer mode.
Yeah. You gotta optimize your life, Buster. You gotta make that dough. Well, you gotta make that hay while the sun shines.
You gotta hyper focus on those numbers that don't matter. The only thing that shows is like if you make cool things and people find a following, pay attention.
You gotta
just
make sure
do
you're
it for
in
why
black,
you
so
like
you're
it.
not in the red, or your life is shit. You're bleeding out.
I could have a response, but I don't feel like it right now.
Yeah.
Why don't you have a response to me loving you because I love you?
Yeah, I love you too.
I've got my figure photography, and I enjoy doing that. And maybe I'll come back to video stuff one day, but it's just not in the cards right now.
No, Sim. Me and Cody will start a toy company, and you'll take our figure photography for it.
Oh yeah. Boy. Well, At least I'll definitely do a better job than whoever the fuck Diamond Select has working for.
Oh yeah, yeah, I saw what you were complaining about on Bluesky. Yeah,
And that's just their latest figure. Like every fucking thing they've made for the last 20 years has looked like that in promotional photography.
damn.
It's almost like they're actually not a toy company. They're
Yeah,
just a
I know
company
about
that
Diamond.
distributes shit. And for some reason, they also have a wing that makes toy.
Yeah, I know about the shitty shit Diamond does.
Well, I could only ever find Mini-Mates. I used to be obsessed with Mini-Mates, and
Yeah.
I guess I still have more, but I still have my there he is. My first Mini-Mate Iron Man that I got with the Ultimate Avenger DVD.
Well, they only do like 2 or 3 sets of mini mates a year anymore, and they're always Comic-Con exclusive.
Yeah, but back during the I wouldn't say prime, but like back when I was not
Oh
able
no,
to
there
go
was
to
an era
Toys
when they
R
were
Us.
as ubiquitous as Funko Pop.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. But anyways, like they used to do like little 2-packs, and they do still do those. They do still have pretty large like release windows. They don't just do the 4-packs. They still do little like theme sets. I mean, they've had theme sets for like every single Marvel movie. But I've only recently started to see them show up in like box lunches. I've seen them in box lunches and FYEs, but they're always like a full. That's not what it costs. But I mean, I went to an FYE in New Hampshire, and they had the Clone Commander, or they had the Clone Trooper Phase 3 and Battle Droid Star Wars Black Series set for $80, which I've never seen 100% markup on something that was designed to be affordable. But yeah.
Oh hey, you mentioned Marvel. Boingo, have you been watching Agatha?
Yes, I have. It's really, really good.
All
I've
right,
enjoyed it
cool.
so far, but I need to watch another episode.
Yeah, 7 came out.
I only hear like one person mention it a week, and it's always something positive. So I think that's good. That's better than like everybody clowning on it every week when it comes out.
It's definitely a good show with an interesting story.
Yeah.
I think the thing it has that actually, honestly, the thing I enjoy the most about it is that it doesn't feel like it's trying to be a Marvel anything, and it just seems like some good like action, good time stuff with
Yeah.
some cool moments in there so far.
Cool
See.
moments, good effects, but a lot of practical stuff, like a lot of practical sets too, which is fun.
I will clarify, by the way, I'm not watching it at this point in time. I'm not watching it or Penguin, just because I'm sick of keeping up with current shows.
That is
I've been-
fair.
I've been watching the new Gundam
heard
series that came out on Netflix.
Oh, I heard that was ass.
See, I don't know. I've like
It has a I have several friends who are very into it.
I've seen a lot of people like giving it high praise, and that's what made me like get off my
Really?
ass quicker to watch it. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some people like praising the designs and like the action, and like from what I've seen so far, the mobile suit action seems interesting. It's definitely like they don't give a shit about the people. Like it's an Unreal 4, but the Unreal 4 like the scale of it is that it's like they register they rendered everything on screen all at once in Unreal 4.
Oh yeah.
And that means that instead of like they rendered the scene that like you're seeing somebody close up, it's like no, you're just zoomed in on that. It kind of looks like a bad texture in a video game. And then you zoom out a little bit and you see like the mobile suits walking around in the environments, and it's like, oh well, at when you're scaled back to that detail, everything looks correct. But whenever you bring me down to like street level, it looks right, but then like it kind of looks a little off. Like the way that they talk, but that's never really been like the point. It's usually like the audio you hear in the middle of like the robot fighting. But I mean, sometimes it is. But I don't know. I also mainly started watching it because I heard a rumor about the end of it that I didn't know if it was true or not. So it was something strong enough to make me just like go watch it. I'm like, all right, time to go.
Yeah.
I'll have a better, more concise decision on that, especially with like usually Gundam doesn't miss. I really hope it's not like a complete miss, because every time they try to branch out into the West with like some Gundam shit, we fuck it up. So let's see if we can keep that. I mean, Canada counts as the West, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We definitely fuck it up as a.
Yeah, I know. G Savior is a whole thing.
A Gundam shows up for like 5 minutes max.
That show felt like, I mean, I know we fucking really like fast forward through a lot of it. I couldn't.
Yeah, no.
But like it felt like the motherfucker was filmed on a submarine the whole time. And then they had a really interesting looking Gundam. And then you're like, wow, there it is.
Oh, there's
All right.
Gollum.
It's like it was the equivalent of like, yeah, we got this fucking cool ass car in this garage over here. I know you want only that, and you don't want anything else, but all you're gonna get is this right here. And
Here's a Gundam. Now stand up and clap.
we wanted to build suspense by making you fearful that you might actually see the thing you want.
No,
We'll see though.
But-
We'll see if it's good. So far,
Agatha-
it's just like a good like slappy robot thing.
yeah. Agatha all along is pretty good. I've been watching Dragon Ball Daima.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Did you watch episode 3 yet?
Not yet, but it's good. It's a very light-hearted adventure thing so far.
Yeah, I'm very enjoying it a lot. The voice acting by like both the old and new VAs, because even though Goku is still voiced by the same woman he's always been voiced by, a lot of the mini characters got new VAs, and both of them are doing a great job in the Japanese version. I haven't watched the dub yet. The dub isn't even out by the time we're recording this, but like apparently doing like a theatrical premiere for it. That's a bit dumb. But Dragon Ball will make money, so.
I've been rereading a lot of Stephen King and rewatching a lot of Scooby Doo because Halloween.
Yeah, I saw you watched. Have you watched It Part 2 yet?
Have I watched what?
It Part 2, the movie. Because
No, I was gonna do that tonight, but then I decided I wanted to yell about Hasbro.
Alright.
I might still do it tonight. We'll see how awake I am when we end this.
Yeah, I mean, just do whatever you feel. I don't want to.
Who does Galaxy Squadron? Is that Jax?
Micro Galaxy Squadron is Jazzwares. That's a Star Wars toy line, everyone.
All right.
Mind on that.
I don't know why Cody asked, but I did have the information.
The information is present.
It was gonna be a thought, but it is not.
Oh.
A thought, a hoe, a whore.
A female deer, Ray
William Johnson. No, I'm sorry. That's the first thing that came to mind. I shouldn't have said that.
No, that's fine.
Your
He's
favorite
my favorite
Martian?
Starring Christopher Lloyd?
Speaking of Christopher Lloyd, I've been watching Over the Garden Wall with my mom because Halloween. She's liking it a lot.
That's a spooky show?
Kind of. It's more...
It's a autumn show. I mean, yeah, it's definitely got some like
it's
cool
spooky.
like
I thought it was
nice
like a wholesome fantasy film.
Mystical.
A little bit column A, a little bit column B.
I mean, there's dark elements, but it's not a dark.
It's a nice autumn solstice celebration.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fall.
Fuck yeah. Been looking at trees. Been drinking lots of apple cider. Been feeling cold.
I got to see a little bit of the fall up in New Hampshire.
Yeah. Now you're back down here in the land of no fall.
In the land of diet summer.
I returned to the state seeing everything that already fell.
As I walk through the valley, as I harvest my grain, I take a look at my wife and realize she's very plain.
That's a very rude thing to say.
It's an Amish paradise, man.
Yeah, Amish paradise, man.
I know. I was just like, wow. Why you gotta do Cody's girl like that?
No, I used to love White and Nerdy to the core. I was the exact audience for it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Well, I was a fat kid, and fat was my anthem for like a year and a half. It's not a good thing, but that's a thing that happened.
Thanks for admitting it.
I mean, can we say one of the best Weird Al songs is "Night Santa Went Crazy"?
I like the Christmas at Ground Zero a bit more.
I don't really care for it.
I prefer.
I like Dare to Be Stupid.
Yeah, no, I prefer what's it called? Like Christmas at Ground Zero for like Christmas Weird Al songs. They're just me though.
I like the polkas.
The polkas are great. Yeah, I haven't listened to the new one yet. I've just been like, I want to be in the right mood for it. Like I want to like fully like I want to lock in for Weird Al. You know.
You know what? To bring us back to that horrible conversation we were having earlier, I just had this thought. I think that might be right now. I think we might right now be seeing things more and more popular companies fall on the 3 3/4 inch scale as opposed to the 6-inch scale. Because while I say it's because you could store more product on the shelf, what they hear is obviously, yes, they could store more product on their shelves. But no, I mean, like we got like tiny little Godzilla figures popping up all over the place. The whether or not they're good or not, I have yet to find out. But the
Plus
best in action, whatever. We don't talk about those. That doesn't count.
I don't know. It seems to count a whole lot to hardcore G.I. Joe people.
Well, I mean, Haya Toys is doing regular G.I. Joes. They seem to be getting
a lot
of
they're like impossible to get a hold of over here, apparently.
Maybe that's for the better though, because I got really excited for those Predator figures. Because like collecting the Predator NECA figures is just like, I know you don't want to buy a foot tall figure, but I'm gonna make you feel like you've bought a foot tall figure. The two that I have like some of the biggest fucking accessories. One of them has like a literal 1 foot long spear, and I'm like, well, that's neat. I wonder if I said I probably do. I better. I have I also have the Predator that's the Vietnam one where he's got the alien in his chest and the grenade launcher. Anyways.
Okay, you know what, Cody? You could probably tell me more about these. What the fuck is up with the Blokies? Because I've seen some Kamen Rider ones, and I saw you look at the Transformers one, and they look cool. What are they?
Those look like from what I like have been able to see, is it's like another popular tiny little model kit company where it's like a cheap to buy. Some of them are even blind boxes, but like
they're calling them figure kits, but they are essentially models. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're figure kits in the way of like we've seen Rise Standard and stuff like that, or like 30-minute missions that's not the main goal of 30-minute missions, but like imagine like if you were trying to make a very comparable little tiny toy that has really good articulation because of ball joint, and has
they
a
also
satisfying
all
build.
have the same central piece, which looks like a minifigure torso, but isn't.
It's like SD Gundam, but like more marked.
Okay. Because I like the Kamen Rider ones, and I would like to get some eventually. And it's just like, hell yeah, those look dope.
Definitely get them, dude. They're anything like that's like fun and tiny is always good to encourage. Because like I don't know, man, like the build it yourself mentality with it, I think adds to the enjoyment.
I have had no money for so long. There is a very
You're
large
spoiled for choice now.
No, there's a very large monkey in my head saying, like, you've lasted this long without that stuff.
I don't like you talking about me like that, but anyway.
But the fact that I've lasted this long without it, just because I have money doesn't mean I need to get it, you know?
Yeah. I get you.
I wish I had your level of psychosis.
Well, if you want to feel like you've collected things, you could always come over here and
hang
put
out
yourself in the depression chamber.
Boingo just sits on your bed and meditates for 20 minutes, and he's like, "All right, I'm satisfied."
I mean, I have money, and I can go drive to your place. We need there is no the only logistical reason for us not to hang out is either of us working now.
Yeah, or you shouldn't start hanging out and building 30-minute missions together.
Or your partner being over and you wanting some alone time, you know.
Or you being
standard adult shit.
Alone time.
All right, guys, I need one more clip to finish this AMV.
Hell yeah, brother.
All right, hang on, I'll get it for you.
No, I don't trust Simeon. No, Simeon's like the last person I trust.
Let me do it.
No. I got a good one. I've been saving this.
Let me do it.
All right, either or. I mean, it has to be something I'm actually like interested in.
All right, I think you're gonna like this. This is a really nice clip. Look at this.
Okay, you know what? That's a funny joke.
I put a picture of a hair clip in the chat, everybody.
Yeah, it's a Barbie hair clip. It's a good one. I can think I can find it because I got I had all the other clips. I just oh god, I still have a few minutes I can use.
I give you white bread.
White bread. Vegeta in the rain for hours.
10 hours. He's gonna tell him to 10 hours.
Hit him with a couple of clips, and then they'll never be ready for it turning into the.
I think that gives you a similar idea. I think we're gonna use the Berserk opening, like part of the Berserk opening. Yeah, the original one, not the 2016 one. I gotta hate that I have to clarify.
No, it's not Holy Own Forces. No,
it's yeah. Tell me why. AKA the best anime opening of all time. Don't at me.
It does not fit what I imagine the tone of Berserk is. It feels too optimistic as a theme song for Berserk, you know.
Well, if you've actually
anime opening is Mask.
Okay, well here's the thing,
Berserk
Cody.
Is the perfect anime to set an AMV of Butterfly too.
No, that's not what I mean. Okay, anyway, my point is Anyway, my point is,
I'm also surprised you didn't make a joke about Tank being the best one, Cody.
Yeah. Is that like a gag between you two, or is you just
Tank is Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah, okay. My thing is, I think yes, Berserk is like, especially the end of the '97 anime. I think the song retroactively works when you actually like see the rest of it. It's like, okay, it's like healing from that kind of shit, you know. I don't know. That's just my idea
Right,
of it.
but
I don't know.
I am talking strictly about the anime it is for.
Yeah, yeah, because it only covers up to Golden Age, and that's like
Yeah.
and that ends on literally the lowest point of Guts' life.
But
If
like,
we really wanted to get into the whole what I think the best intro would be, I'd probably be pushing a Mobile Suit Gundam.
Oh yeah, oh,
That's
no,
fair.
I love my favorite Gundam intro is Victory Gundams.
Stardust Memory has a very memorable sax opening
Hey.
solo that sits well with me. Or the classic
All right,
Gundam.
this
I don't
AM's
know.
done. It should be up on Bluesky now. And let me
damn,
just.
be a real big shame if like some of us just fucking re-blogged it.
I'll
Yeah.
make a thing maybe tomorrow or something.
Yeah.
Oh, finally, the Cody
I'm voting
Bluesky arc
tomorrow.
will begin.
I mean, hey, there is feeds you can follow that just basically turn it into Instagram.
Yeah.
Tell me that to Instagram. Man, that
Uh,
sounds whatever.
and there's a lot of starter packs for just like, hey,
Interest.
these are just a group of people who just talk about Transformers. Here's people who make cool art. Here's this, here's that, and just make shit.
What making shit, you know?
Yeah, but how am I gonna find all the honestly the only thing that keeps me on Twitter at all is toys.
Oh, you can find toy people.
And seals, and specifically seals, specifically like Japanese and Korean accounts that are like.
I mean, a couple more foreign accounts are moving to Bluesky.
I
Slowly but
mean,
surely.
for a while there was more Japanese users than English users.
Yeah, but if I can't see the same people like posting about the same couple of seals every day, like I might not be able to survive.
That's
this
fair, but
boring
like,
world.
he's trouncing through miles of toxic garbage worth a seal.
Yeah, we can just send you seals every day. We can try to make that a thing.
I got the seal pictures coming at me from like multiple different accounts that are like hyper focused on it. I'll just have to see if they like. I just like haphazardly found them and then got recommended them and then kept like growing from that. I don't know. I like sealed Twitter. I have to find a sealed Insta. I mean, I'm already in Insta. I'm already part of seal Instagram.
That's fair. That's fair, my dude.
Also like Japanese toys. Show me how to get better things on Blue Sky. I'll have to make the transition.
Yeah.
Come on over, baby. You can do it. I believe in you.
You are stronger than you give yourself credit for.
I'm stronger than I give yourself credit for.
Whoa.
The
Damn.
I don't know
power
why.
is yours.
My friend.
Damn, Daniel.
We're really bringing back Damn Daniel? Really?
He's back at it again with the white
Vans.
Vans.
Yeah. You're the white fans and the white fans.
White fans. What is this? A metal band that doesn't actively. I don't know where that joke was going.
It could go many ways.
You almost had it. You almost got there.
We almost had a punchline.
It fizzled out. It fizzled out.
You know, it's a funny bit. I find it a funny bit.
Damn.
Yeah, Boingo, you're funny. Admit it.
No.
Do we think that the Dragon Ball Z Ford Fusion commercial is like one of the best crossover commercials out there?
It's certainly the best Ford Focus commercial.
That says nothing. That is a nothing statement. That is a nothing sandwich on top of nothing. It's not even like Ford Fusion isn't even good.
Is it a Fusion or is it a Focus?
I don't understand a single damn word.
Of course, it's a Fusion. They use the
yeah,
from.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny because they don't have to change the words. I just want to know. I want to know who that guy. I know that it's more than five. More than 5 people bought a Ford Fusion because they saw that fucking commercial. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That would be enough to tip my scales personally if I wasn't already a fan of round cars. Well, we've been riding the rails for quite a long time.
2 hours at this point.
2-hour power. We all feel like we need a shower hour.
I mean, I don't know. You guys can do whatever. Like
I for one, chicken bun.
I've had a lovely time.
Someone says if hanging out with friends is just good up for your soul.
Yeah.
So you should do it more, Simon.
That's your name now, Simon.
Simon socializes.
It's pronounced Simeon.
What are you, a monkey man?
Simeon? Are you from the Isle of Sumer?
What the fuck?
Are you gonna sell us faulty copper?
That's not in my my plans here now.
Copper, not the ingots.
Copper, 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 copper.
I don't know. I could come back as a regular host if you guys want me to. I mean, I do enjoy Speed Racer.
We don't want to pressure you.
Yeah,
You want to be out of the business.
It's
It's
just
like, here's the thing. Showing up and doing this with you guys just talking is not hard for me. It was the week in, week out editing, running the whole thing because I felt like I had to, on top of also doing my own channel, on top of also doing figure photography, on top of also doing general life shit was beating me down. And I realize all of that is entirely my fault, but that's why I had to cut it loose. I felt like it was all or nothing at the time. But I also went into this year thinking I might go back to school with an aim to get into the toy industry and maybe someday hopefully possibly get a job at Hasbro, but that doesn't seem very likely anymore now, does it?
No.
I mean, you don't have to point the gun at Hasbro. You could still go for that
Yeah.
whole scene.
I mean, hey, like I was saying earlier, fucking we could get some Fusion 360 and computers.
okay.
And
Boy,
some 3D
now you're
printers.
just saying words. Now you're just saying words. All right.
No, Fusion 360 is a parametric drafting program.
Boingo, here's what I want to do. Here is my most realistic want and goal and need.
Mm-hmm.
There is, I forget if it's Prusa or whoever it is, but there is a tabletop 3D printer designed probably with tabletop figures in mind, but it's the exact scale for me to kind of fuck around with the exact my favorite thing out there, maybe. Tiny little goblin trinkets that I could put in my pocket.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as Go-Go's Crazy Bones, Micro Machines, Legos to some extent.
Mini cons.
Mini cons. Good on you for that one. Good on you, lasagna. Tangle. The cars, things a lot of the things I buy.
Yeah.
You like the little baby boys.
Also, I posted the AMV in the chat for later.
Hey!
But what I'm saying is, it doesn't take a super ton of investment to get a couple 3D printers and the programs and all that kind of stuff.
No, it doesn't.
And like, I'm not saying this is like a project for 2025. I'm saying this is like hey, why don't we put this in the recipe book and we think about making it one day? You
How
know,
about we put each other in the recipe can out one? What about
Okay, all right. You know what? Let's wrap it up. You know what? I think we've lost the sauce. I think we've lost the plot.
no, I think we found the sauce.
You know what?
What if
That's
it was
fair.
called Modular Freakia? And
No.
we're almost at the end of October and we didn't do anything spooky related at all. That sucks.
No,
I mean, you brought me back from the dead.
All right,
Yeah,
the
we
last
did.
2 hours of this podcast are going to be
Yay!
dedicated to Halloween.
what if I just put the fucking skeleton song for like 5 minutes at
Skeleton
the end of the
Warriors.
podcast?
No, just what I need you to do is find the really shitty audio of that one like shitty ghost accessory that everyone had in the 90s and like a lot of like American households.
This
That
podcast is
exact
dedicated to the memory of Tim Burton. He's not dead as a person, but he's dead creatively.
Have you even watched? Apparently, everyone liked the new Beetlejuice. Like everyone was like, "Yeah, this is like Return to Form," and I'm
I
like,
haven't seen
"Return
the
to Form."
first Beetlejuice.
First Beetlejuice is good.
Yeah. Maybe
Can I
someday.
find the
I'm not
song?
ruling it out.
It's not on Tubi, so why should I care?
Jesus.
It's not real if it's not on Tubi.
I
That's
need that
legitimately my
ghost
philosophy.
sound overlaid of the entire over the entire podcast at a very almost noticeable tone,
No. It just plays randomly, like a fucking
Just
iron
like
pipe.
like a jump scare. No, just put real jump scares in there. Put real Five Nights at
screamer
Freddy's
right in
clips
the middle
in
of the
there.
podcast, Boingo.
Make it foxy every single time. Just like,
Jesus.
happy Halloween.
Anyway, can the Nintendo Switch 2 be revealed already? I'm tired of looking through rumors and leaks. Just reveal the damn thing already.
You could
I
just
hope
not
there's a
look at the
Splatoon
rumors and
edition
leaks
to
and
make
just
me
be pleasantly
coming to
surprised
me.
whenever it
They
actually
keep
gets
coming to
revealed.
me. They keep coming to me.
Tell them to
And
fuck
everyone-
off.
I should. I don't know. I'm just like,
Buster-
I just want a new Switch because my old one's kind of breaking down. So I'm just like, Nintendo, hurry up, you know.
Do you think there'll be a Splatoon edition of this console?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Okay, I'll be in.
Is it gonna have Splatoon 3? Or are they doing
Splatoon
3?
4. Splatoon 3 already came out.
Oh, I didn't know. I missed that.
Yeah.
You gotta get up on your squids.
Last time I heard anything about Splatoon was Splatoon 2 DLC.
Splatoon 3.
You may be mistaking Splatoon 3 DLC for it.
Yeah.
Entirely
Oh yeah,
possible.
Splatoon 3 had a.
It's almost like I rarely play video games.
Also,
Because
you're
Splatoon
missing
1
out.
had the 2 idol girls. The Splatoon 2 had the short one and the tall one. Splatoon 3 has the 3 of them with that.
Yeah,
that
the big
guy,
man.
that guy.
Big man. He's like the greatest character Nintendo's ever made.
No, dude, it's Isopadre. That's the greatest character they ever made. Fuck out of here with any other opinion.
Luigi!
Oh shit.
Luigi? No, Isopadre. It's Isopadre. I'm sorry. He's got a little deep sea isopod as a pet, and he has an isopod, and his name is Isopadre. Dude, they can't get better than that. They can't outdo that.
But, no. Also, they're fucking testing some MMO shit. What the...
Yeah. On like Nintendo Switch Online? It's weird. I don't know. I don't want to say too much because I don't want Nintendo...
I buy the theory that the thing that everyone's playing isn't what they're testing. They're just testing the back-end servers for a bigger project.
Oh, 100%, because it looks very rudimentary from the screen caps that
I do
leaked
think
out.
it's funny that, like, I saw that, like, the leak of, like, Nintendo asked everybody very nicely, pretty, please don't leak this. And I'm like, wow, I can't wait to see that leak literally, like, seconds into it going live.
Yeah, but
oh wow, look, it leaked seconds into it going.
Some people try to fucking live stream it.
Yeah,
No,
like, I mean,
you were just asking for the Nintendo ninjas to just go like him.
It's funny.
Yeah.
You know, the next music group for the next Splatoon should just be a punk band.
I mean,
You want to say ska, just say it.
I mean, has there been any ska influenced tracks in Splatoon? Because I know they try to mimic a bunch of different genres.
Squaw.
I know it'd be cool. I don't know. I don't want to look through all the Splatoon tracks because I don't have any.
I'm more just asking if you remember any. I'm not saying like, do you have definitive answer?
No,
it's hard to remember any track really that because it's
like goes like.
Oh yeah, you know.
Well, I mean, Scott has it's the. Has anybody tried like? There has to be someone who has made like a voice synthesis for Splatoon WOMPs.
I think someone has, but I don't want to look into it.
Yeah, because I've listened to the like full version of what is it? Humble from Splatoon, or like as if it was sung from Splatoon more times than I need to admit, and I will not. It is funny.
Kendrick Calamari?
Yeah.
Right now I'm hungry.
Get it? Because Lamar Calamari.
Yeah, I get it, but like I'm just hungry for fish now.
Squidrick Lamar.
Man, that feud with
Squake.
You guys do not know like Splatoon characters. You cannot pin any allegations on it.
No, I was trying to make an underwater pun for Drake. That's the joke.
Okay.
I wasn't trying to implicitly imply any Splatoon character was Drake-like.
I don't know enough about. I mean, I love ocean
By
critters.
the way, that reminds
me. Any bad rapey ones.
I almost gave my mom a heart attack this week.
Whoa! Everything okay?
Yeah. So, long story short, the restaurant my sister works at right now, which she's actually in the middle of her 2 weeks notice at the moment. They were having a promotional event for Drake's birthday.
What?
And I didn't know about it until it was happening, and my mom just texted me like, "Hey, we're taking care of your nephew tonight because your sister's got to work late because they're having a promotional event for Drake." And without thinking, I messaged her back, "The pedophile question mark?" And she called me and was like, "What the fuck?
What the?"
So I had to very quickly explain that whole thing.
That's fucking hilarious. I'm so sorry you had to deal with that, but it's fucking hilarious.
That's my own fault.
You had like a multiple choice option, and you chose the evil option.
That's the chaotic good.
Yeah, like you're informing them, but not in a.
I just wasn't thinking. I was texting like I was texting a friend.
I was like, yeah, that pedophile.
How do you fucking even make that mistake?
I had just gotten out of work, and my coworkers and I are very casual about discussing pop culture stuff like that.
Oh, hey, Damian Haas is in the Ron Mud reboot.
Good for him.
Wow, I don't know what those words were.
Damien Haas is in Smosh. Ranma is an old anime, and it's getting
Yeah, I mean, Damien's been
reboot.
doing a lot of voice work. Like they were like the main protagonist of a Fire Emblem game, Three Hopes, the Muso spinoff of Three
Wasn't
Houses.
he on like a voice acting podcast recently?
Probably.
Probably.
I want to say
Actually,
it was
like
Bill
I've
Farmer's
been getting into
podcast,
like
but
some
I'm
new
not sure.
I've been getting into some new podcasts recently. Like mainly just one, a podcast called Block, because as I keep ramping up my production of this cartoon I'm making, or I put cartoon in quotation marks. I don't know what to call what I'm working on, but I'm working on a thing, and I just want to like hear from like other creatives of like writers, animators, all sorts of things. So I found this podcast called Creative Block, and would recommend it. And it gets a lot of really cool industry people on there. Some people I have talked to, it's like Toby Jones, which I still can't believe I got to talk to him during the Lakewood Podcast Turbo days. But yeah,
Oh, I was just
yeah,
thinking of when he was in friggin' Anthony Padilla. I spent a day with video recently.
Yeah.
Oh, my brain.
Your brain.
Rain Blast. Yeah, I know. Like, and also I've been like the new Versus Wolves came out, and that was a really fun episode. It was like 4 hours. It's like a bunch of Twin Peaks
That's not a
podcasting
podcast.
about.
That's a short audio book.
Well, I mean, isn't this podcast breaching 2 hours at this point because we're having so much fun?
Yeah, 2 hours is like a reasonable standard length for a podcast.
Not for us.
Yeah,
No.
we usually go for like an hour.
It's true.
These days.
That's just the thing is when I'm back in town, we got to bring up the standards a little bit, and then we got to bring them right back down, even it out.
Bring up the standard
Actually-
just so you can slam them back in the trash.
There's actually a couple things I do want to ask you, probably off air. I don't know if I should ask them on air because they're like a bit production-y. So
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
Damn. Yeah.
So I read Death of Superman recently.
oh yeah, I heard that story was shit even from other friends even before you read it.
I had heard like, oh, it's I'd either heard like, oh, it's very of its time, but it's fun, or it's really not that great. It's very overhyped from so many people over the years. To finally actually sit down and read it, it feels like a comic that's in a TV show that doesn't have the money to license a real comic.
That's fucking a wild assertion.
Mm-hmm. Like, the dialogue is incredibly stilted and doesn't feel remotely human. The art is very generic and doesn't have any real sense of flow to it. The whole story is just incredibly simple and has very little like attempt to get across how big a deal this should be. It feels like it's just relying on the marketing and word of mouth to do that. The only thing that feels like it has any artistic merit in the whole story, or at least the issues I read in a trade that were collected as this is the death of Superman, is just the fact that once you get into the actual main issues concerning the death, every page there's like one less, or every couple pages it might have been, there's like one less panel until finally the final page of the story is one big 2-page spread of Lois holding Superman's body. I thought that was a cool touch, but that's like the only positive thing I have
and that's
to
like
say.
the only panel people show of the comic, like anyway, when talking about it. So that tells you a lot.
It feels less like it's an issue, and it's more of like one section of a greater story.
Or they'll show like panels of Guy Gardner and Booster Gold getting the shit kicked out of them, because that does happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do have a funeral for a friend on the way right now, because I figured I might as well. And I already had Return of Superman, but fucking Reign of the Superman is out of print right now. I can't find it anywhere, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might just read the intermeeting issues online, or I might just say fuck it and skip right to Return. I also have a lot of other shit I need to, so that could happen.
That could happen.
Could it have?
In positive reading news, I also read like the first 20 issues of Spider-Man ever, and yeah, they're of their time, but they still hold up.
Yeah.
I like the first few. I need to like I was gonna do like a series, but I feel like there's a bit of kind of a resurgence of a lot of YouTubers, like smaller ones, doing this kind of series where I was like, I'm gonna read every Spider-Man comic, and I'm like, well, one, the gimmick's already like a lot of people are doing that gimmick either in podcast or video essays, And like too, it
Isn't
just
isn't implicitly pretentious going by run like he's been doing a retrospective for a couple of years now?
I don't know, but like I have seen like channels solely dedicated to that project pop up. So like you can find them easily if you just Google like every Spider-Man reviewed or whatever. I don't know. Point is, that was an idea I had. I think I'm just gonna take it like run by whatever run I'm interested in at the moment. If I do it, like I'm not like I want to dedicate it to like smaller characters or niche characters or just characters I have a personal attachment. I mean, I like Spider-Man. There's other facets of Spider-Man I prefer, right now to
I
cover.
would recommend anybody who likes Spider-Man and is at all interested in the history of comics, at least read the first couple of issues and definitely read the first annual. Not just because it's the first appearance of the Sinister Six as a team, but also because it has a backup story that is a, with massive air quotes, autobiographical comic about Stanley and Steve Ditko's creative process. And even back then, they were joking about how much a slave driver Stan could be.
Yikes! Ooh,
Yeah.
that's actually that kind of sold me on. I'm like, oh, ooh, spicy drama. I haven't really read much manga or comics recently. I want to. I just have been. Actually, no. I did read. I think I mentioned this on like a previous. Boingo, did I ever mention that I read all of Goodnight Pun Pun?
You've talked about it, but not on the podcast.
All right, I read all. I felt like throwing up after I finished it. Positive.
Yeah,
It's a lot. Oh,
it's messy.
it's messy, but like just it's pure life story. Like I don't know. Well, okay, it's not pure life, but it feels it tackles like emotions that like you don't normally hear about like in these kinds of stories, and it's like that like we all still like can relate to, of like these more darker emotions. I don't know. I'm trying to like be very vague because I feel like it's a manga classic for a reason. So
Yeah.
and I'm glad like to see it's getting like more widely distributed in recent times. Even if the ending did make me want to throw up. I didn't, to be clear. It just made me want to.
Yeah, I talked about reading Power Fantasy in Once in Future.
Also, I think I inadvertently got someone to make a video on Do a Power Bomb.
That's good.
This was like a couple months ago, but I only connected the dots.
Whatever happens, happens.
And wherever you go, there you are.
I have been saying that so many times recently. And like no one is like, oh, wait a second, is that Buckaroo Banzai? It's just like, nope.
What's it a reference to, boy? Go.
I recently found out that quote they used that in the movie because it's a famous self-help book.
Oh,
I think the wording is like slightly different, but apparently that's what it's based on.
The Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah, the phrase in the movie.
I was trying to answer Buster about like where is that from? It's like Buckaroo Banzai.
All right.
Has Buster not been shown Buckaroo Banzai yet?
Not yet. It sounds funny.
It's a fun movie.
We watched it.
Yeah.
Anyway, do we want to wrap it up?
I'm gonna wrap it down.
You gonna
What if I wrap it around?
You gonna rap? You gonna rap for us, Buster?
No, I'm not gonna even do that as a bit.
Yeah, you're not out.
Buster Grooves.
Yeah, no. Here's one of the covers for Once in Future because it's a good comic.
Ooh, that's good art. That's good art.
Because basically the premise is guy learns about monsters, becomes monster hunter, but like the monsters are stories, and it's how human culture throughout time will retell stories in different ways. So like this King Arthur, that's King Arthur on the cover, by the way.
Badass.
Is like Britain is for Britons.
Oh.
Get the fuck out of here, Anglo-Saxons. So a bunch of fascists tried to revive him to go like make Britain white again, and he's just like, oh no, you're all Anglo-Saxons. Get the fuck out of here, and kills them all. And it's just like our modern definitions of what Britain is and that definition of Britain are two different. And then there's a newer one, which Arthur that comes in later, that is from when the Normans came into England, and the Normans were French, so it's a lot more hoity-toity and a lot more clean, and like it's very French inspired and that kind of stuff. And then you have a King Arthur that is a representative of the British Empire in its totality, of like that British nationality, King Arthur, and like all of them are playing against each other, and it's really interesting. It's a good comic. It's only 30 issues, Buster, if you want to read it.
I do.
I have 30 issues with everything you just said.
Well,
I
read,
of course you do. I said it. You always have issues with me.
I
Well,
finished,
take those issues out
Tom
in the
King's
back,
Animal Pound
fellas.
recently. It's fucked. Man
Oh, yeah,
clearly
yeah.
still had not mentally recovered from 2016, and you know what? Same. That's how I discuss political comics, everybody.
Yeah.
Go vote!
Ba-da-ba-ba-da.
You know what? That's a good note to end on. Boingo.
Yeah. But also, Simeon, real quick, Repower Fantasy. It's like Gillian just want to continue to write Krakoa.
Cool.
But hey, this has been a podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on podcasting platforms of your choosing. Hey, Simeon, tell the people where they can find you.
Hi, I'm Simeon. I like toys. I like things. I like stuff. I talk about that stuff and post photos of it sometime. I got a Bluesky. It's SimeonScott.bsky.social, I think. Instagram is at Simeon Scott, but you replace the O's with zeros and put an underscore in the middle. And I don't remember what my Tumblr link is. Oh, it's just Simeon Scott, all one word. Okay, go look that up.
Yeah. Buster.
Hi, I'm Buster Corp. I do lots of YouTube videos. I recently participated in a video essay collaboration, anthology collaboration, where I submitted a video to the video essay library. I just want to plug that real quick. But I also just do videos, like all sorts of quirky little videos on the Buster Corp YouTube channel. We should have some stuff coming out soon. So yeah, stay tuned. Also on Bluesky at Buster Corp. Trying to use that more.
Cody.
It's me, Snowbird the Cone, and you can find me at never_robot on Instagram.
Hell yeah. And I am, of course, Boingo Writer. You can find me a variety of places on the internet. Boingo Writer on YouTube /Boingo Writer at Twitch. I'm Boingo Writer on Bluesky and the Whatnot. Hope to see you around again.
You have a Whatnot account?
A what?
You have a Whatnot account?
Blue
Selling
Sky.
stuff? You got them?
The fuck?
Good team.
All right, whatever. This has been a podcast, everybody. Does anybody have anything else they want to say?
These nuts.
Those nuts.
I'm going nuts.
Fire Chris Cox.